lovelies. I hope you're all doing really well and thank you for joining me today. I wanted to have a little bit of a chat about autumn trends, and if you've been on my channel for a little while, you know that I love my capsule wardrobes. I love quite classic pieces and style in general, but this season the trends are just so good, and I actually think they are quite versatile and a lot of them are easy to style and have some longevity to them, so I'm super excited. I have 5 trends that I am going to be adding to my wardrobe this season. I have already started, so I do have some pieces that I am going to show you, and then I also have some pieces that I'm not sure what to choose, so we can talk about that. Let's just start with a color trend, shall we? And I really love color trends because they're not as specific in a way. They're not as easy to kind of pinpoint when they were trendy, so they consequently don't look as outdated as quickly or at all, really. And this season we have particularly 2 color trends that are quite prominent. The first one is the cherry red, wine red, Bordeaux, dark red, whatever you prefer to call this kind of color. You will find beautiful both clothes and accessories in this kind of color. I think it is such a beautiful color. It's so rich and deep, and it's just perfect as the days are unfortunately getting a little bit shorter. And it also just goes so well with neutrals, which I think is such a bonus as well. And it's not something that is so specific. It's not like a neon. I feel like this is fairly versatile. I have this polo shirt that I just bought. It's from & Stories. It's the softest, stretchiest, most comfy thing ever. And then I also have this maxi dress that is a bias cut, just such a beautiful piece. The silhouette is just so incredibly basic and classic, which I really love. It means that when the color of the month or season changes to something else, this is still not going to look outdated. I think that is a fantastic thing. I think it's really great because you can kind of mix and match these a little bit as well and pair them together if you want to have more of a tonal or monochromatic look. But if you're not entirely certain about this trend or any color trend in general, I always suggest starting with accessories, because it's something that you can wear pretty much every single day, so you can really get your money's worth out of it. And it's also a little bit smaller, so you can wear your regular outfits, not think too much, and just have a little bit of a pop of color. I have these heels. They're so dark. I think they are beautiful. You also get it in boots and different shoes that might be a little bit more something you wear every day for work if you want. And this color also looks so good in handbags. This as well, you can see really dark, so you can really choose something that you feel comfortable with. I think it is such a beautiful alternative to black as well, because you can see it's so dark, but it's not as harsh as black can really tend to be. So you could also get something bigger than this, obviously, like a work tote, something you can wear every single day, and it's just going to be a little bit more versatile. It's not something you have to work really hard to actually incorporate into your wardrobe, which is why I think it's so amazing. And although it is a very easy color to get on board with, I think, for most people, the other color trend is even easier, and it is dark brown. And I just have to show my handbag because I can't stop showing it. But dark brown is obviously a color you can feel very comfortable buying more expensive things in as well, because it is a neutral. It's not something that is going to look dated very quickly, and it's very likely going to go quite well with most of the other pieces in your wardrobe. I do have a dark brown coat on my wish list for this winter. I don't feel scared to buy things that are a little bit more expensive in this color, just because it's a great color. If you do choose to go the accessory route when it comes to dark brown, I hate to say this, but I really do think your life will just be easier if you also get the rest of the accessories to kind of match, because I know it's a little bit difficult to kind of pair this brown handbag with a belt that now almost looked orange, and then I also had shoes that weren't quite. So I do have a feeling that I will get a couple more dark brown accessories added to my wardrobe. That's the only thing I will add, but honestly, dark brown, apart from that, I think it is such an easy color to pair. It just looks so good with so many other neutrals. And I also think these two trend colors go so well together. Obviously, you are not going to be wearing 2 handbags at once. For something that feels a little bit more realistic, you can have like these 2 together. Ah, so pretty. Definitely going to do that. But I am not done talking about this belt, because if I go close, you can see that this is actually in suede, which is the next trend that I want to talk about, and I am so excited. I really love my outfits to be defined by texture, and suede is just such a gorgeous, luxurious material and texture to play around with, and I am seeing it everywhere at the moment. I am tempted by all of it, so I am still trying to kind of make a selection of what I really want. I know that I want a suede handbag, and I have a very strong feeling it's going to be brown. There is a beautiful one at COS that is perpetually sold out. It is absolutely stunning, and if you can get your hands on it, I mean, buy it. Send me a picture, make me very jealous. But I've also looked at the totes from Demelier. You can obviously find suede handbags in lots of different price ranges. One thing I quite like about it is that if you want to go for something that is budget, you can buy faux suede that is made out of fabric and not faux leather. I swear my Pinterest is haunting me with all of these beautiful suede coats and jackets. But for something that is a little bit less dramatic, you can obviously get a shorter jacket as well. And I really love these jackets in sort of lighter tans. The texture just really is allowed to shine, I think. When you have black suede, the texture can be a little bit lost because the color is so dark. I know that you can get suede in any color you want, but I really think that sticking to the neutrals is the winning combination. It really feels a little bit more natural and high-end. Obviously, dyed colors are always going to stand out as a little bit more unnatural, maybe is the right word. Hope I'm not offending anyone here. I have also seen quite a bit of suede footwear. It looks amazing, but I just know that a couple days of autumn here in Norway and they are going to be soaked and ruined forever. So that is just not really something that is realistic for my lifestyle, but it looks amazing if you have slightly drier autumns. I am also really excited about this next trend. It's something that I don't actually have in my wardrobe yet. And I think this is a trend that works really well for everyone who also felt like summer was a little bit short. And we are of course talking about full skirts. I love seeing these. Obviously, you know me, I love a little bit of drama to my outfits, and these really deliver that. I do have quite a few maxi skirts that I really love and I wear them a lot, but they tend to be kind of like straight down, like column skirts, quite simple. Whereas right now we see a lot of these A-line kind of skirts or things that just have a lot more volume, especially at the bottom. And I think this is, obviously it's comfortable, but it's also quite nice for when it's getting a little bit cooler. You can wear these with boots and then just have tights on underneath and stay really nice and warm throughout the cold months. And I really love that you can kind of tailor this to what works for you. If it's quite warm, you can have something in a much lighter material that is a little bit more flowy. You can have something in a cotton poplin if you want a little bit of structure to it, but still something light. And you can go all the way to the other end and have something that is in wool, which is obviously going to be very warm. And it's also going to give your outfit like a little bit more like a different drape and a lot more interesting texture. So I just think there is so much fun to play around with. And we are just going to move on to a trend that is not exactly my style, but I am still going to incorporate something of it. And that is the, what do we even call it? The cowboy trend, the Western inspired trend. And I feel like this is, again, we're seeing evolutions of it. We're seeing something that is very slightly inspired by the cowboy aesthetic, all the way to cow print being quite popular, which is definitely not something I can pull off in any universe really. But what I will be adding is a pair of cowboy inspired boots. So let me just show, because I already have something that is slightly cowboy-ish. So you see this heel is doing most of the work for it here, and also the pointed toe. I have these boots, they are worn to death. I think they are 5 years old. They are great, but I definitely need a new pair. And again, I am thinking that I am going to add at least one in a dark brown. You can go for something like this that is quite simple but still feels very trendy, or current is probably a better word for it, simply because it has that the right silhouette. And I always say this, if you're going to participate in a trend, footwear is a very, very good place to do it, because I have to replace them much more often than a lot of my other pieces in my wardrobe anyways. I might as well choose a style or a silhouette that is on trend, if that makes sense. The final trend that I will be adding to my wardrobe this autumn, and this is something that is really verging on being a classic, so I wasn't entirely sure if I was going to include it, but then I realized, you know what? These are popular, therefore they are trendy, and just because it is a classic cut does not mean that it cannot also be a trend. I was looking at adding something like this all of last year, and I never found something that was perfect, or it was sold out. I realized that this time around I was going to kind of be a little bit earlier and not wait until everything that I want is sold out. And these cropped jackets, especially the ones with a collar, the single breasted or just the single placket of buttons, because I am kind of short, they're not as cropped on me, but the aesthetic still works. I think these are amazing. They have been so popular. And how amazing is this as a transitional piece? It's something that is not going to look outdated if you wear it in a few years to come, which I think is really amazing. Again, it's something that is less specific than the other pieces or trends that we are talking about in this video. I mean, it's just the perfect layering piece for autumn, and it's something that is going to be great for transitional weather. It's very practical, but it still looks really good, super easy to style. I mean, what do I have that this is not going to look good with? I don't know. So you could say I'm pretty pleased. I bought this one from And Other Stories quite recently. They should still have it, but I also saw that COS do a lot of these. Honestly, they're everywhere. There are so many good versions. And if you're also into trends, I'm sure you will have noticed that we have not talked about leopard print. And this one is so strange. I see it everywhere at the moment, and I think it looks good on so many people. I think it looks good in accessories, handbags, to scarves, to also clothes, skirts and shirts, everything. I think it looks so good on other people, and I just can't really see it in my own personal style. So I'm kind of making more of a conscious decision to not jump on a trend simply because it's a trend. And even if I do like it on other people, just knowing myself that it's not something I think I will feel like myself in. Does that make sense? If you have any other trends that you think are amazing and really wearable, really good trends, can we start classifying trends as good or bad? Because I think we should. And I feel like wearable trends are quite good. There are so many trends that look amazing on social media and on the runway. And I just think it's really bad if we start to think that we need to add those into our wardrobe, because they often just waste our money and hang there and take up space, and it's not something that is truly wearable and even enjoyable to wear. That is probably enough rambling for today. I'd love to hear what you think and what trends you are excited to wear for autumn. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you very shortly in the next video.